Hello, students of Developmental Psychology Psych 188. Well, we're off to a fun start in the semester, aren't we? Hi, my name is Paul Priester. You can feel free to call me Dr. Paul. I'm a part-time instructor here at MATC. It's one of the hats I wear. Anyway, boy, it's been sorry. I want to really apologize for all the delays that we face in just getting this Blackboard shell up and running. So this is an introductory video. There's some important announcements I have to make here. Okay, first of all, welcome to the class. This is my favorite class to teach. It's an interesting class, I think, because we're going to cover everything from conception to death. I'll use the metaphor over and over, the train ride of a human life. Okay, each way on this train ride will have stops. Our first stop will be conception, pregnancy and birth, and then early childhood, middle childhood, late childhood, all the way to the end of the death, okay? So let me just go over some housekeeping things. Usually I do this to help you, okay? But I have to be really strict with deadlines for this class, because otherwise you're just going to get behind. If I don't have the deadlines, trust me, it's bad if I don't have deadlines, because if I were a student and in this class, I would wait to do everything to the end, and that would be overwhelming. So we have really strict deadlines. It's very manageable amount of work if you keep up with the deadlines. But with that said, first of all, I want you to know I don't make exceptions with deadlines except for right now. This is such a cluster, fill in the word you want, that I'm going to, for the first 3 weeks, I'm going to push back all the deadlines so that you have 3 weeks to catch up and do the work for all the 3 weeks. But then after that, each week, and usually we have 1 chapter a week. Later on, we have 2 chapters a week for 2 weeks. Usually the deadline is Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now, the deadline is for each chapter, we'll have 2 things. We'll have a discussion board question. Like the first one's easy. You'll see today. It's just introduce yourself. Introduce yourself, and you get the points, okay? So for each chapter, we'll have a discussion board question and a quiz. Let me talk about the discussion board questions a little bit. Please, I said this in the syllabus, but please answer the questions directly and fully. You answer in your own words and base your answer on the material in the book. So one common thing I have is I'll say something like, I'm trying to help develop your critical thinking skills with these questions too. I'm trying to get you to apply it to your life and think about it and make sure you read the book and use some critical thinking. So I'll say, let's just do the example I use in the syllabus. This is not a discussion board question, but I'm just using this as an example. Is teenage pregnancy a good or a bad thing? Decide and tell me why you think that. Now, over and over, I'll get students, they'll say, well, there's some good things and some bad things about teenage pregnancy. If you do that, you don't get full credit, okay? You have to answer the question, say, well, I think teenage pregnancy is a bad thing because of blah, blah, blah. I think it's a good thing because of blah, blah, blah. So answer the question. Sometimes there's 2 parts to the question. Be sure you answer the question. And I had this situation last semester where students were answering this one question. I couldn't figure out where all these students were getting different answers than was in the book, and I couldn't figure out why. Finally, I asked them, and it turns out they hadn't bought the book. And they took the discussion board question and searched YouTube and were watching YouTube videos, and the information was different from in our book, okay? So first of all, the number one thing, it's really important with an online class to buy the book, okay? Really, really, really want to encourage you to buy the book, because, no, could you, well, this gets to the quiz question, could you do the class without a book? You could. It's going to be really, really hard to get a good grade. You could rely just on the PowerPoints. For each chapter, I'll have the PowerPoint up there that summarizes the chapter. I don't know. I suppose you could, but it would be really, really hard, and I don't think you could get a good grade. And my goal is for everyone in here to get a good grade, okay? You're all starting off with an A. Let's keep that A going. There's no reason you can't get an A, okay? It's all within your control. So with the discussion board, don't just copy what the book says. Say it in your own words. Answer the question. Rely on the book, okay? Also, your first submission is the one that counts. So sometimes students will have a blank submission, and the way it's set up, you don't see other answers until you submit. So sometimes I'll see students submit a blank answer and then a full correct answer. Now, if I were going to be cynical and negative, I'd say something like students are cheating, that they want to see what the other answers are so they can give an answer. Maybe it's an honest mistake. I don't know. Either way, your first submission is what counts. Sometimes students answer and then see other students' answers and realize their answer wasn't completely correct, and then do a second submission. The first submission is what counts, okay? Just so you know. And they're not hard discussion questions. So those discussion questions will count for approximately 1/3 of your grade, okay? They're not that hard. It's pretty easy to do. Also, for each chapter, we'll have a quiz, an online quiz. With this online quiz, here's the thing. It's open book. Open book. Use your book. Use the PowerPoint. Use your notes. And it's a half hour for each quiz. You get 1/2 hour to do the open book quiz. Now you get 3 chances, okay? And whatever counts for the highest of those 3 scores counts as your score. It's open book. Use your book. Read your book. Go over it as you fill out the quizzes. So if you don't do good the first time, take it again. Your highest score will count. You get 3 chances. Now here's the thing. If you go on, I sound like kind of a uptight prick with this video, but excuse my French, but you get 3 shots. So here's the thing. If you go on and answer one question and close the quiz down and go back later, that counts as one of the tries, okay? So you get 3 shots, highest one counts. Last semester, I had some people that started the quiz at 11:55 p.m. on Sunday and finished it at 10 after 12. And guess what? Then that doesn't count. That's a late submission and it doesn't count. So don't wait till Sunday night to do it, okay? If you stay on top of it, it's not that much work. There's no reason why you can't get an A in this class. No reason at all, okay? So with those quizzes, the online quizzes, those are worth 1/3 of your grade too. And then finally, we have a really easy final paper at the end. I'll go into more detail with this later on. I'll give you some examples. But let me give you a tip now. There's about, you're going to choose 10 concepts or ideas from the class. Out of those 10, you're going to identify it, define it in your own words, and give an example, either out of your life, a family member's life, or a TV show even if you want. So I'll go into more details with that later on. And that final paper is 1/3 of your grade too. It's not like a real academic paper. It's more taking the material from the class and applying it to yourself, okay? So there's no reason why you can't do well, especially if you follow directions, you'll do fine. All right, so I'm using some really good videos I made, but I just have to warn you that I decided to go ahead and use them. Some I'll record over, but some may make references to things like midterms and finals. Ignore that. I removed the midterm and final, okay? I just decided to use the videos, and sometimes they may make... The first video I'm going to use makes reference to... it's a good video, but it makes reference to, like, Labor Day, okay? I used it for last year. If there's references to Labor Day, midterm or final, or extra credit, forget about it. I removed the extra credit option because it wasn't helping students, okay? It wasn't helping. So I'm going to use, for the most part, those videos again, and I'm not smart enough to figure out how to edit out. So if you hear something like about midterm or final, just ignore it. If you hear something about extra credit, just ignore it, okay? And I'll be also adding videos. So for each chapter, there's the PowerPoint, and then I'll have videos for each chapter. Some from YouTube, some from your charming instructor. And the videos will help. Consider the video supplementary. I tried to take some of the hard concepts and explain them so you can understand them better and emphasize what's important. Okay? You guys got this. Even though we're off to a rough start, don't worry. You can do this. You can get an A in this class. It's all within your control. So I want to welcome you. Like I said, I really like this class. It's interesting. If you're a human, it'll be interesting. I hope you'll see my role, sort of responsibility as instructor for this class, is to try to present the material in an understandable way and to help you understand it. And to also, I try to reflect the most current research that's being done on each topic, okay? All right, so some of the video, and some instructor videos, like with the pregnancy. I try not to have long videos. With the pregnancy video, it's long, okay, but it's really good and it covers material really well. But it's about 50 minutes long. That's the longest. None will be that long, but that's worth it, okay. So if I were you preparing, here's tips to get an A, okay. I would start off. I would read the chapter. Then I would look over the PowerPoints. Then I would watch the videos. Then I would do the discussion board question. Finally, I would take the quiz. So there. I hope that this helps you out. If you have any questions, let me know. I will always have 9 to 10 on Monday mornings open for Zoom meetings or phone calls if you need help. But you have to let me know, okay? I'm going to keep that open, and you let me know. The best way to get hold of me is email. I did list my phone, but please don't text me. If you text me for some important reason, please identify yourself, okay, and what class you're in and what it is. But email is the preferred mode of communication. Now, stuff happens, okay? I know stuff comes up. Kids get sick, dogs get sick, cars break down. I'll figure it out so you'll get 1 week where you can miss one discussion and one quiz. I will throw out your lowest one, okay? So if you have 0, I throw that out. So you get a freebie, okay? So that, like, I know stuff happens. So 1 chapter, I'll throw out your lowest chapter. If you've missed one, it won't hurt your grade. But beyond that, like I said, I'm really, really strict with the deadlines. That's to help you stay current. We cover a lot of materials and we stay current with it. Most of the time, 1 chapter a week. It's manageable. It's not that much work. You can learn it, hopefully have some fun along the way. It's if you got behind it, it really gets hard. So I don't know, sometimes people text me when my car broke down. Well, that's okay. That's why I had that thing about you get 1 miss. Okay, other than that, I can't make exceptions to the deadline because it's not fair to other people that make the deadline, okay? Really, it sounds like I'm uptight and all legalistic with this. We have a lot of fun with this class. We'll move along. We'll learn a lot. But just so you know, that's what I'm uptight about. So if you have trouble with that, if you don't think you can do that with those deadlines each week, you might want to think about switching to another class because that's just the way it is, okay? So if you need to get hold of me, email me. I will always have Monday 9 to 10 in the morning open to Zoom with you or to phone call if you prefer. That'll be my office hours. All right. Like I said, we're going to have a lot of fun with this class. It's interesting. It's fun. I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoy teaching it, okay? And sorry for the rough start. It was beyond your control and it was beyond my control. It was the bigger forces at MATC that were having problems with this one, not you or me. So like I said, you'll see I'll change the deadlines for the first 3 weeks. So if I were you, I'd get going right ahead on chapter 1. If I'm going to have chapter 1, 2, and 3, the deadline will be at the end of week 3 just to make up for this. And then I'll be strict from then on. Okay? Once again, it's nice to meet you. And we'll be in touch. And each time I teach us, I learn more. We'll be learning together. And take care.